This is B. Howard. It seems a lot of people are speaking on my behalf and this TMZ thing and all that, so I'm just gonna keep this short and simple.
Have you ever wondered if Michael Jackson left behind more than just his music? For years, fans speculated about a hidden chapter in his legacy involving B. Howard, a musician with an uncanny resemblance to the king of pop. Now, after endless rumors, B. Howard is breaking his silence. Could he really be Michael Jackson's biological son? The truth he's about to reveal may forever change what we know about the Jackson legacy, the journey of a legend. Michael Jackson's name alone stirs so much, emotions, memories, a legacy that seems to defy time. Born on August 29, 1958, in Gary, Indiana, Michael was the eighth child in a family of 10. His dad, Joe Jackson, was a steel mill worker with a dream of making it in music. Joe may have been strict, but he gave Michael his first taste of performing. And Michael's mom, Catherine, filled their home with music, playing the piano and clarinet, setting the stage for something truly magical. By the time he was 5, Michael was already a part of the Jackson 5, performing alongside his older siblings. They started out in local talent shows, and even then, Michael's talent was unmistakable. In 1968, Motown Records took notice, and just like that, the group was catapulted to fame. Songs like I Want You Back and ABC turned them into stars, and there was Michael, just 10 years old, captivating audiences with an energy and magnetism that felt way beyond his years. By the early 70s, the Jackson 5 had become one of the biggest groups around, with young Michael front and center. But fame can be heavy, especially when you're that young. By his teenage years, Michael was already feeling the weight of expectations, from his father, from fans, and from an industry that never stops demanding more. He wanted to be more than just the kid singer in a famous family group, so in 1971 he took his first steps as a solo artist. His early solo work, including Got to Be There and Ben, showed just how much depth and range he had, even at a young age. Then, in 1979, everything changed with Off the Wall. Partnering with the legendary producer Quincy Jones, Michael crafted a sound that was fresh and exciting, a blend of disco, funk, and soul. Songs like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You not only became massive hits but also proved that Michael was a force on his own. This was the start of something groundbreaking. And then came Thriller in 1982. This album didn't just make waves, it shook the entire music world. With over 100 million copies sold, it's still the best-selling album of all time. And the music video for Thriller? It was like nothing anyone had ever seen. Choreography, special effects, the whole package. That video cemented Michael's title as the king of pop, and he was unstoppable. Throughout the 80s, he was at the peak of his career, shaping pop culture in ways few artists could dream of. By then, Michael wasn't just a musician. He was a cultural icon. His style, those single gloves, flashy military jackets, and fedoras, became legendary. But more than that, he broke racial barriers in the music industry, helping open doors for future artists. In 1984, he joined his brothers once more for the Victory Tour, which shattered records as one of the highest-grossing tours of its time. And let's not forget We Are the World, the charity single he co-wrote with Lionel Richie, raising millions for famine relief in Africa. Yet, even with all this success, Michael's life had its struggles. His appearance started changing, sparking endless media speculation. Then, in the early 1990s, he faced allegations of child molestation, leading to a highly publicized civil settlement. The media attention was intense, and it only added to the challenges he faced. Still, he kept creating music. His 1987 album, Bad, had hit after hit with songs like Man in the Mirror touching fans on a deep level. The Bad World Tour was a massive success, proving Michael's power as a live performer. In 1991, he released Dangerous, with hits like Black or White and Remember the Time, each showcasing his growth and evolution as an artist. By the early 2000s, though, life in the spotlight was taking its toll. In 2003, new allegations surfaced, leading to a trial in 2005. Though he was acquitted, the toll on his reputation was severe, and he chose to step away from the public eye. He lived in seclusion for years, rarely making appearances. Then, in 2008, he celebrated the 25th anniversary of Thriller, releasing a special edition with new tracks and remixes. Fans were excited. Michael was planning a comeback tour, a series of concerts called This Is It. But in 2009, the world was rocked by his sudden death on June 25th. His passing left fans, the music industry, and artists around the world in mourning, as his music once again soared to the top of the charts. Brandon Howard's early life and musical roots. Before we can understand the connection between Brandon Howard and Michael Jackson, we need to look at Miki Howard, Brandon Howard's mother. Miki is a talented R&B singer whose life has been linked to the Jackson family. Miki was born in Chicago in 1960 into a family that loved music. Josephine, her mother, played the piano, and Clay LaRue, her father, was a church singer. With that kind of background, it wasn't a surprise when Miki decided to become a musician herself. Her 1984 album, Come Share My Love, had the hit song, Ain't Nobody Like You. She was already well known in the R&B scene by the early 1980s. At this point in time, Miki's career goes in a strange way. She first worked with Joe Jackson, Michael Jackson's father, and the head of the famous Jackson family. Joe took over handling her, which brought her into Michael's circle. In 1982, when Michael Jackson's Thriller album was the big hit, Miki's name was rising in her own genre. There were rumors that the two might be dating. They are said to have become friends through Joe, who at one point took care of both of them. Still, neither of them ever directly confirmed or denied these stories. Then, in 1984, Miki had a son named Brandon Howard. Many people thought Brandon might be Michael's son because of the time. People even related to Michael's 1982 song, Billie Jean, which is about a woman who says Michael's character is the father of her kid. Fans thought that Michael's famous line, "The kid is not my son," might have been influenced by Brandon's birth. The songs helped build many ideas. Over time, Miki chose not to deal with the rumors about her relationship with Michael or the problem of who Brandon's father is. In a 2014 interview with Essence magazine, she said, "I am not Billie Jean." She denied having a connection with Michael. She also said that she had signed a non-disclosure deal with the Jackson family, which would make it harder for her to say anything. Brandon, whose stage name is B. Howard, grew up with music all around him. He wanted to be a musician like his mother, and maybe the rumored Jackson connection pushed him to do so. Brandon began writing songs in 2003 and has become a well-known name in the business since then. In 2010, he started working as a solo artist. His first song, Dance Floor, quickly became a hit. In the same year, he worked on a tribute to Nelson Mandela with Wyclef Jean and Jasmine Sullivan. His song Supermodel was released for the first time in 2011. B. Howard earned a lot of fame outside of Japan, where he gained a loyal following. His 2016 song, Don't Say You Love Me, made it to number 11 on Billboard's top dance charts, making sure he would always be in the music business. Even as his career took off, he had to deal with claims that he looked a lot like Michael Jackson. Fans and the media were both guessing about B. Howard's real parents, and the fact that he looked a lot like Michael became a point of debate. In the end, a DNA test was done to try to find a lasting answer. Still, the test didn't answer any questions. Instead, it raised more questions. This means that the story of B. Howard's relationship with Michael Jackson is still as interesting and unclear as ever. The DNA test and Brandon's bold claim. Brandon Howard made news early in 2014 claiming to be Michael Jackson's biological son. This disclosure rocked the entertainment scene and revived debates about Jackson's complex legacy and the several speculations regarding his personal life. Along with a DNA test allegedly displaying a 99.9% likelihood of Brandon being Michael Jackson's son, his claim Auggie David, CEO of Filmin.com, gave a live-streamed news conference during which the announcement took place. David said he conducted the DNA test using a dental imprint of Michael Jackson, acquired from a Beverly Hills doctor. Said to be more than 30 years old, this gadget was supposed to have live DNA, which produced incredible effects. using an orthodontic device for the DNA test begged questions and mistrust. Given the unique circumstances surrounding the DNA's acquisition, many questioned the legitimacy of the test. Critics noted that depending on a decades-old dental impression could cause mistakes or contamination. Brandon stayed by his assertion in spite of the debate. He said he had conducted the test discreetly rather than looking for media coverage. This just served to create uncertainty as people questioned whether Brandon was indeed claiming to be Michael Jackson's son or solely caught in a media frenzy. Brandon's announcement set up a rainbow of emotions in the public, ranging from incredulity to interest. Michael Jackson's fans were particularly vociferous, many of them voicing doubt about the authenticity of the DNA test and Brandon's claims' ramifications. As supporters considered the likelihood of a secret Jackson son, social media burst with debates, memes, and viewpoints. Some drew attention to Brandon and Michael's striking similarity in face features and demeanor. Brandon received much support from this resemblance since many people thought he might truly be Michael's son. Others, however, discounted the assertions as a publicity gimmick, contending that the timing and situation looked too favorable. Media sources such as TMZ and BET covered the narrative extensively, usually emphasizing the exciting elements while underplaying the complexity of the circumstances. Brandon Howard speaks out amid paternity claims. This resulted in a story whereby Brandon Howard was not only trying to prove his heritage, but also maybe looking to claim a portion of Michael Jackson's fortune, thought to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Brandon Howard clarified his stance on social media amid the turmoil by means of a video message addressing the misinformation and misunderstandings about his allegation. Brandon underlined in the video that he had no thoughts of suing the Jackson estate and has never self-claimed to be Michael Jackson's son. First, I never contacted TMZ or anything similar. Didn't publish a story, nothing, he insisted, using a video message uploaded to his Facebook page. Number 2, I have never said that Michael Jackson's son is mine. Third, I very certainly am not suing the estate. I have been taken care of really nicely. Number 4, it is true I did do a DNA test, but it has nothing to do with any of this, he said. Brandon said he appreciated the help he got from supporters, but he emphasized the DNA test was unrelated and not meant to produce a media spectacle. He underlined that he had been properly taken care of and financially independent, so separating himself from any idea that he was looking for financial benefit from his claimed relationship to Michael Jackson. Still, another twist surfaced even as the DNA test appeared to offer some clarity. Experienced vocalist and musician Auggie Johnson gave the convoluted network of paternity claims still another level of intricacy. Another man stepped up claiming to be Brandon Howard's actual father among whirlpool of rumors and DNA test findings implying Michael Jackson's son. Though most famously known for his backup vocals on Michael Jackson's Off the Wall record, Auggie Johnson found himself in the public eye for reasons unrelated to his performance career. As rumors of Brandon Howard's paternity grew in early 2014, Auggie Johnson moved forward to stake his own claim. Claiming a long-term relationship with Brandon's mother, Mickey Howard, during the early 1980s, he said categorically that he was Brandon's biological father. Auggie's words were not a passing comment. He presented himself as a parent who had been in Brandon's life from the very start. "I was in the delivery room when Brandon was born," Auggie said boldly in interviews. Along with formal paperwork, he felt supported Brandon's paternity. He claimed to have pictures capturing the time of birth. Auggie stressed that she had no other romantic partners prior to he entering Mickey's life, thereby supporting his claim that he was the only possible father. Auggie's relationship to Brandon transcends language. He related personal stories that depicted a father-son relationship. He remembered happy recollections of introducing little Brandon to recording facilities, therefore introducing him to the world of music early on. Auggie explained how he would bring Brandon along for rehearsals and shows, so he would absorb the energetic environment of the music business. In one very moving narrative, Auggie related a moment when he first presented Brandon to his musical inspirations. I wanted him to know the roots of the music we loved, he added. We would pay attention to the greats, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, and naturally Michael Jackson. I wanted him to value the artistic talent underneath everything, complications and emotional toll on Brandon Howard. Auggie Johnson's claims have added profound emotional complexity to Brandon Howard's life. Public scrutiny and media frenzy surrounding the paternity claims have placed immense pressure on him, thrusting him into a spotlight he may not have anticipated. For Brandon, conflicting claims about his paternity likely stirred a whirlwind of emotions. On one hand, he was presented with the possibility of being Michael Jackson's son, a notion carrying both prestige and burden. On the other, Auggie Johnson's assertions introduce a paternal figure who has been present throughout his life, adding layers of complexity to his identity and sense of belonging. Brandon's mother, Mickey Howard, publicly stated that she believes Augie's claims are unfounded. "I can't make any statement regarding what that man is saying. I have no idea what he's talking about," she remarked, adding, "This opens up cans of worms and memories and things that have no business being discussed in public." Mickey expressed concern for Brandon's mental well-being, suggesting he may be losing his grip on reality amidst the chaos of public speculation. "My concern is that he's safe and that his mental health is good. Whatever that stuff going around is, it's going to die down. People are saying really bad things and it's just, you hate to see your children hurt," she said, underscoring the emotional toll the situation has taken on their family. Strain on Brandon's relationships with the Jackson family. The claims from Auggie Johnson have also affected Brandon's relationships, particularly with the Jackson family. If Augie's assertions are true, it could mean that Brandon's connection to the Jacksons is more complicated than he initially believed. Although he has enjoyed a close relationship with Michael Jackson's children, the revelation that he may not share blood ties with them could create a rift in those familial bonds. Brandon often referred to Michael Jackson as a mentor and inspiration. He spoke fondly of the times he spent with the Jackson family during his childhood, visiting Neverland Ranch and playing with Michael's children. However, the emergence of Augie's claims may lead him to reevaluate those connections, prompting him to question how he fits into the larger narrative of the Jackson legacy. As the controversy surrounding Brandon Howard's paternity claims continued to unfold, Michael Jackson's estate broke their silence. The announcement that Brandon Howard, also known as B. Howard, claimed to be Michael Jackson's son sent ripples through the entertainment world, igniting a firestorm of speculation and debate. Central to this controversy was the DNA test that purportedly indicated a 99.99% probability that Michael Jackson was indeed Brandon's biological father. However, reactions from Michael Jackson's estate and legal representatives painted a starkly different picture regarding the legitimacy of this claim. When the news broke, Howard Weitzman, the estate's attorney, was particularly vocal in expressing skepticism about the DNA test results. "We've never even heard from him," he stated, referring to Brandon, adding that, "Any deadline for claiming to be Michael's child has long since passed." This statement was significant, as it implied that any potential claims to paternity were not only legally questionable, but also time-barred. Weitzman's comments highlighted the estate's firm stance against what they perceived as an opportunistic attempt to capitalize on Michael Jackson's legacy. The estate had faced its share of legal battles, including disputes over Jackson's finances and the management of his posthumous image, making them cautious about claims that could potentially disrupt the carefully curated narrative surrounding the late pop icon. Moreover, questions regarding the DNA test's origins raised further concerns. The device reportedly used in the test was purchased at an auction, which meant there was no clear provenance or verification of its authenticity. This lack of transparency led many to suspect that the entire operation was more of a publicity stunt than a genuine scientific endeavor. If you found B. Howard's story intriguing, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more updates on your favorite celebrities. Stay tuned for more exclusive insights into the lives of stars you love.